Ever found yourself questioning the sincerity of your partner's words? Today we're unmasking the often overlooked yet pervasive element in relationships: hypocrisy. At its core, hypocrisy in relationships involves a disconnect between what one professes and what one actually practices. This can range from trivial white lies about one's likes or dislikes to profound betrayals where one's actions contradict their declared values and commitments. Understanding and recognizing hypocrisy is not just about catching a partner in a lie, it's about observing the consistency between words and actions over time. It's crucial for the health of any relationship to identify these discrepancies because they can erode trust and mutual respect, the very foundation of any partnership. So how does one spot a hypocrite in a relationship? It starts with being attentive and discerning about inconsistencies. Stay tuned as we delve deeper into the signs that you might be dating a hypocrite. Why would someone act hypocritically towards someone they care about? It's a question that puzzles many, but delving into the psychology of hypocrisy can offer some clarity. At its core, hypocrisy in relationships can stem from a deep-seated insecurity. Imagine someone who praises their partner for honesty but then fails to be truthful about their own feelings or actions. This behavior might not be about deceit as much as it is about a fear of vulnerability. They might worry that showing their true self could lead to rejection or conflict. Another psychological factor is the fear of confrontation. It's easier for some to agree outwardly, but act differently in private. For instance, a person might express support for their partner's career decisions in public, yet undermine these decisions in private. This discrepancy often arises not from malice, but from an internal conflict that the person feels unable to express openly. They might fear the consequences of disagreement such as arguments or emotional distance and so choose a path of least resistance, at least on the surface. Then there's the desire to maintain an ideal self-image. Many individuals have an image of who they want to be or how they want to be seen by others. When reality doesn't align with this image, hypocrisy can ensue. For example, someone may project themselves as a supportive partner because they genuinely aspire to be one, even if their actions occasionally suggest otherwise. This isn't just about fooling others, often it's also about fooling oneself. Hypothetical examples abound. Consider a person who criticizes their partner for spending too much time on hobbies, yet they themselves indulge in similar or even greater amounts of time on their own interests. Here, the hypocrisy might not be deliberate but could reflect an unacknowledged jealousy or a lack of self-awareness about their own behaviors. Understanding the why helps us spot the what, the actions that scream hypocrisy. This insight allows us to approach relationships with a more nuanced perspective, recognizing that hypocrisy often masks deeper issues that need addressing. By uncovering these layers, we can foster healthier, more honest relationships. Now, how can you tell if your partner's actions don't match their words? Let's delve into some common signs of hypocrisy in relationships. The first sign is inconsistency in statements over time. Imagine your partner often speaks about the importance of honesty, yet you've caught them in several small lies about where they've been or whom they've been with. This pattern of inconsistency can be a red flag, indicating a disconnect between their proclaimed values and their actions. Another telling sign is a reluctance to discuss certain topics. If bringing up past conversations or specific subjects seems to make your partner uncomfortable or evasive, it might suggest that their stance on these issues isn't as solid as they claim. For instance, they might preach about financial responsibility but dodge discussions about their spending habits. Actions that contradict previously stated values or beliefs are particularly stark indicators of hypocrisy. For example, if someone extols the virtues of mutual respect in a relationship but frequently interrupts or belittles you in conversations, there's a clear contradiction in their behavior. This kind of discrepancy between words and actions not only sows seeds of doubt, but can also erode trust and intimacy. Moreover, pay attention to how your partner speaks about others. Do they criticize friends or colleagues for behaviors they themselves exhibit? This could be a sign that they hold others to standards they do not apply to themselves, a common trait among hypocrites. Furthermore, observe how your partner handles criticism or feedback. A hypocritical partner may be quick to deflect or become defensive rather than engaging constructively with the critique. This avoidance can often manifest in shifting blame or making excuses rather than taking responsibility for their actions. Recognizing these signs is the first step towards addressing the issue. By being aware of these behaviors, you can begin to understand the dynamics of your relationship more clearly and decide how best to address these concerns. What happens to a relationship when hypocrisy enters the equation? It's like introducing a slow poison that can seep into the foundation of trust and emotional closeness that couples work so tirelessly to build. Hypocrisy, by its very nature, creates a disparity between what is said and what is done. This inconsistency can be incredibly damaging. When one partner notices hypocrisy in the other, trust begins to erode. Trust, the bedrock of any relationship, relies on consistency and reliability. Imagine a partner promising to be open and honest yet frequently hiding or manipulating truths. Over time, the realization that these promises are not being kept can cause the trust to fracture. The emotional closeness that couples cherish also suffers. Emotional intimacy is built on vulnerability and openness. If one partner feels they cannot trust the other's words or actions, they begin to close off, protecting themselves from potential hurt. This withdrawal creates a gap, and the emotional distance widens. Unresolved hypocrisy doesn't just stop at eroding trust and intimacy, it often leads to resentment. This resentment can simmer beneath the surface, manifesting in arguments, sarcasm, and an overall breakdown in communication. Partners may find themselves in a cycle of conflict, with hypocrisy at the core, fueling misunderstandings and anger. But all is not lost. Let's talk about confronting hypocrisy constructively. You've spotted the signs. What next? How do you bring it up without causing a rift? Confronting a partner about perceived hypocrisy can seem daunting. It's akin to navigating a tightrope. Balance and precision are key. The goal isn't to accuse or to win an argument, but to address concerns that affect the health of your relationship. Begin by choosing the right time and place. This conversation deserves a calm environment, free of distractions and stress. A quiet evening at home, perhaps, when you both are at ease and can give each other your full attention. When you start the conversation, use I statements. Instead of saying, "You always contradict yourself," try, "I feel confused when what you say doesn't match with what you do." This approach shows you're expressing your feelings and not pointing fingers. Encourage your partner to share their perspective. There might be reasons behind their actions that you're unaware of. Listen actively and empathetically. Remember, this isn't just about being heard, but also about understanding each other better. Acknowledge that everyone has blind spots, including yourself. This can help in making the conversation less about blame and more about mutual growth. Discuss ways you both can improve on being consistent and authentic in your actions and words. Finally, agree on actionable steps to help each other in being more aligned with your words and actions. Maybe it's a weekly check-in to openly discuss feelings and behaviors, or perhaps setting specific goals for personal improvement. With the right approach, it's possible to strengthen your relationship and foster greater honesty.